The bumps you feel are asteroids smashing into the hull of this ship. Also, we're flying without a navigational system and can't seem to change course.
Miss, are you telling us absolutely everything?
Not exactly.
Isaiah Crowell to the backfield. Crowell has room. Nice cut by Crowell. Crowell chewing up yards down the sideline. Isaiah Crowell could go. Touchdown, Jets. The Jets. Here's Darnold. Airing it out. Deep ball. Separation. Caught. Robbie Anderson. Goodbye.
Listen to me. Your crew is in complete control of the situation.
You gonna show it? I hope not. We have slides. Darnold throwing. Deep ball. He's got Anderson.
Trust me, there's absolutely nothing to worry about.
Football didn't equate into winning football. Keenum, there's the interception. And a long run back here for May.
You're right. They're off course and heading straight for the sun.
Okay, well, that game was a colossal fucking shit show. I did not see that one coming. I thought there might be a chance Sam Darnold might figure out how to play at the NFL against us. That wasn't something that I thought was out of question, but Isaiah Crowell rushing for 200-something fucking yards? Holy shit.
Hallelujah! Holy shit!
If I was John Elway, I might have walked down into that fucking locker room. First off, yelled at Vance Joseph, yelled at Joe Woods, then yelled at some of these fucking players. Holy shit. How can you be here at the NFL level and fuck up on tackles that badly? Wow. I mean, look, this game had a lot of coaching mistakes, and we're going to get into that. But this narrative online that game was all coaching. It's all Joe Wood scheming. It's all Vance Joseph. No. It's not all coaching schemes and shit like that, okay? You're going to have to come to terms with the fact that this team, right? This team might be really fucking bad. You're going to have to come to terms with the fact that this team might not be as good as you thought it was, okay? And some of the defensive players on this team might be worse than what you thought they were, okay? Those are some of the things you're going to have to come to terms with, okay? But before we do that, I think we'll have a moment to talk about coaching, and we'll talk about some of the plays where I feel like the coaching really did let us down. Because, again, I do want to talk about the players, but I feel like first I have to make sure that you understand that when I bash some of the players later in this video, I am not somehow speaking as a Vance Joseph defendant, that Vance Joseph does no wrong, or even that he deserves to finish out the season here. That's not what I'm doing, because I do not feel that way. But it is important to understand that the problem with the 2018 Denver Broncos is not limited to our coaching staff. So I'll begin with the coaching staff, because that's what everyone's talking about. So let me bring up a few plays where I had some problems with how the coaches decided to run the play.
Formation, Tomlinson and Herndon. Fake it. Darnold has the time. Delivers.
All right, so this play is not so bad. My main problem is that I hate these design plays where we leave Shaquille Barrett to remain in coverage. The main reason being is that he's just not been that great in coverage. And it's like if you're going to have 4 guys rushing the passer and you want someone out there to be in coverage or to wait for the quarterback to kind of run out of the pocket and scramble for a first down, I don't see why you don't just put out like Josie Jewell or something. Josie Jewell, if it's necessary, could cover receiver if they're streaking out. Josie Jewell could probably easily get to the quarterback if they're running out of the pocket and trying to scramble out for a first down. I just feel like this is kind of a waste of Shaquille Barrett's abilities. And in general, it's also just kind of not a blown coverage by Chris Harris Jr., but they got the better of him. But this one's not so bad.
Yeah, that's me. Pecco couldn't bring him down. And the Jets get to use more clock. This time it's Powell.
Okay, so this play is a little bit odd. We have Chris Harris Jr. over here on the left side, Darian Stewart over here on the left side. No one's really on these 2 wide receivers on the line. And the problem with this is that it leaves you exposed for this kind of thing. The wide receivers step up. They get blocks on Chris Harris Jr. and Darian Stewart. And then you have kind of a big gain. This play is a little confusing. I'm not really sure what Joe Woods is going for here, but this was just in general, in my opinion, not very well executed, and it leads to them getting a first down, and this is the kind of stuff that the Jets were able to do on us seemingly all day long.
No reason to throw it, especially when you have Isaiah Crowell. The cut by Crowell, he is...
All right, so here the Jets are going to give the ball to Isaiah Corral. He's going to run off to the right, get down the field. My problem is, at this point in the game, after Isaiah Corral has been running all over you all fucking day long, why is it that you just don't have anyone over here? I mean, think back to that Shaquille Barrett play that I just highlighted not too long ago. You could have run that here and it would have worked fine. But when you ran it in the first quarter, that was before all this running had happened, so it didn't exactly make sense there. Especially when Shaquille Barrett's just not that great in coverage if he needs to be there.
He may get more endorsements this way.
Oh, you want to go there? The redirect by Powell, and Bilal Powell has a chance to go.
Why the fuck is everyone going off to the right here? I mean, I know the play looks like it's going to the right, but every single player is going out over here. I don't even know. That's just fucking bad. There's also some bad tackling here. So for example, well, he got blocked there. That's not entirely fair to say, but everybody going off to the right is a pretty bad sign, and this was a pretty disastrous play. And I would blame this one on scheming and the coaches. And look at how many yards came from this. This is fucking ridiculous. And, I mean, how many yards total have been given up so far on what seems like pretty fucking bad plays? All right, now that I have discussed several plays I have a problem with the coaching on, I really need to get into the meat and bones of why I think we lost this game. And that was a lot of shit execution by the players, both in coverage and tackling. Yes, the coaches did not do a great job in this game, but let's not pretend as if the players are innocent either. So with that being said, let's begin with Bradley Roby.
The Jets. Here's Darnold. Airing it out. Deep ball. Separation. Caught. Robbie Anderson. Goodbye. Throw it. I hope not. We have slides. Darnold throwing. Deep ball.
You fucking suck.
Okay, this is really fucking bad. This is Bradley Roby just getting flat out beat, and this is all his fault. You can't sit here and tell me that this is somehow Joe Woods' fault for scheming, because the only way that possibly makes sense is if you're going to try to make the claim that it's Joe Woods' fault because he had faith that Bradley Roby wouldn't get fucking burnt. So that one's on fucking Bradley Roby. Okay, there's not really a whole lot to say about this one other than, number one, really impressive throw from Sam Darnold, who had an amazing day this day. And number two, Bradley Roby just, he doesn't outbeat Robbie Anderson here. And this is a really big problem. I mean, look, you have got to make that play. All right? This is just a wide receiver flat out beating a cornerback. And that might be acceptable to happen once in a game, but considering how you got fucking beat and burnt on the last play, yeah, that's a fucking problem. Bradley Roby had just a fucking atrocious game today, and there was no fucking excuse for it. And frankly, Bradley Roby is not as advertised. I thought when we traded Aqib Talib, Bradley Roby was viewed by the organization to have developed to handle being a starting cornerback. He's not a fucking starting cornerback. Period. This guy's not a fucking starting cornerback, and he's borderline a liability. It was just last week I said what a great fucking game this guy had against the Chiefs, which he did. He had an excellent game against the Chiefs, but you know what? Today, he got burnt. And this is the second time this season I've seen this dude just get absolutely toasted. Remember the game against the Ravens? Yeah. Toasted in that one too.
Isaiah Crowell to the backfield. Crowell has room. Nice cut by Crowell. Crowell chewing up yards down the sideline. Isaiah Crowell could go. Touchdown, Jets.
And here we're about to see yet another case of really bad tackling. Here we have Bradley Roby appearing again, missing his tackle.
Vaughn into the windup in his first offering. Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
Which really is fucking bad. And then we have Darian Stewart completely blowing it. And yeah, that led on to get a touchdown scored. That's an entire touchdown and like 77 yards that only happened because the Broncos made poor tackles. Is that on Joe Woods that Darian Stewart and Bradley Roby made really fucking bad tackles? No, that's not on Joe Woods, okay? That's on them, all right? Let's place the blame on them, all right? Okay, cool.
Remember, Roby starting for the first time in his career. Crowell! Does he have another in him? The stutter step move by Crowell. Crowell brought down.
That was terrible. Horrendous. I'm offended. I'm appalled.
And yet again, we see another big fucking play given up because we couldn't fucking tackle. This is ridiculous at the NFL level to miss tackles like that, and you see how we get punished by it. Isaiah Crowell comes out with another big fucking run. This shit was just fucking killing us.
They traded him away, and that allowed Roby to become a starter this season. Darnold, downfield, looking for it all. Incomplete in Nunwa.
Okay, the reason why I'm including this clip is because I think this clip perfectly illustrates how the Broncos were legitimately being beat by the Jets today. The better team in this game was not the Broncos, it was the Jets. And here we see Chris Harris Jr. frankly committing pass interference on Quincy Enunwa to prevent the touchdown reception from occurring. Number one, it's not a good play by Chris Harris Jr., but it is a smart play. Because if he doesn't do that, you know, Jets have another touchdown, and they're even further behind in the game. And, you know, he's also lucky because it didn't get called. And, of course, the very next play, Sam Darnold threw an interception, although it wasn't like the normal Sam Darnold interception that we've been seeing. This clip shows how even Chris Harris Jr., and frankly a scheme that I thought worked for this specific play, got beat. And this is because the Jets played better in many respects today. Chris Harris Jr. didn't make a severe mistake. Chris Harris Jr. wasn't simply, goofing off. Chris Harris Jr. didn't have a mental lapse in error. Chris Harris Jr. just got beat. Not in the way that Bradley Roby got beat today. Bradley Roby got beat on blown assignments and hesitation and lapses of concentration. Chris Harris Jr. just couldn't keep up. And frankly, there needs to be some acceptance, guys, that that's our defense now. They aren't the 2015 Broncos. They can't keep up with anybody. And they're going to make mistakes like that. Chris Harris Jr. gets away with a lucky one here. overall smart play, but we're not what we used to be, and we have to accept that.
Football didn't equate into winning football. Keenum, there's the interception. And a long run back here for May. Marcus May, one man to beat. Does May have enough gas to get there? May looking for an angle. He does. May. Football didn't equate into winning football. Keenum.
But why? Why would you do that? Why would you do any of that?
Oh, come on. We weren't going to have a Broncos video reaction without shitting on Case Keenum at least a little bit. I don't think that there's anyone left in Broncos country who isn't convinced that Case Keenum is fucking bad. People who aren't Broncos fans or Jets fans are going to look at his stat line and be like, he didn't have such a bad day. 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, and he had 31 completions for 377 yards. Yeah, he had a bunch of fucking garbage time yards, okay? A garbage time touchdown. And prior to his garbage time touchdown, for all those yards he put up, how many points did we get as a result of all of his drives? 3. Because remember, the 7 points we got prior to that came off of a fumble that was forced by Adam Gotsis early in the first quarter. Case Keenum didn't lead a drive to get down there and throw that touchdown to Cortland Sutton. That wasn't Case Keenum, man. That wasn't fucking Keenum. Keenum, think about this. In all those yards, produced 3 fucking points. 3. What does that fucking tell you? He is bad. And this leads me to really kind of have to lay into Vance Joseph here. What the fuck is this thinking? You know, last week we said, hey, Vance, maybe run the ball more. And this week, all I can help but think is, hey, Vance, seriously, fucking run the ball more.
Did I ever tell you what the definition of insanity is?
Nah!
Okay. The Broncos ran 17 running plays for 92 yards, which is 5.4 yards per carry. Fucking excellent. You know what's not excellent? Giving Case Keenum 51 pass attempts. Why? Why? He's not fucking good. We are getting yards through our running plays. I just don't get it. And Vance, Mr. You score points through throwing the ball, Joseph, he seems to be the only one who's just so stubborn that he won't adjust to this. Look, what if I were to tell you, Vance, that there was a team that had a lot of quarterback concerns with their play, but 2 solid running backs, and so they decide that they're just going to run the ball primarily, and they're going to see just what happens. What if I were to tell you that there was a team that did that? What if I were to tell you there was a team that ran the ball 38 times and only passed 22 times and scored 34 points? What if I were to tell you a team that did that? Guess what there was? It was called the New York Jets against you. Why can't we do what the Jets are doing? That's evidence. No, you don't need to throw the ball all the time to score points. 3 of the Jets' touchdowns, 21 of the 34 points came on passing touchdowns. That's true. But those passing touchdowns in part happened because the run game was so strong. Why aren't we doing that? It doesn't make sense. I don't know how many times we have to bring up the problem of the running game. I just don't understand what Vance Joseph is doing when he is continuously choosing to not adjust his strategy. Vance, if you want to know why everybody's calling for your head, this is why, man. This is why. Where is this team fucking going? It's a question I thought about all game long. And it's going down, man. I don't want to see Case Keenum start against the Rams. I don't see what the point is. Some people would say, Chad Kelly, he'll get fucking massacred. Yeah, so what if he does? He's a 7th round pick. Let's see if he's got anything. But I'm fucking done with Case Keenum. I'm kind of done with Vance Joseph, too. I'm done with Joe Woods. I'm done with a lot of this team. Because it doesn't stop at the coaches. Bradley Roby, it's been several years, man. You've never put it together. I'm done with you. Okay, I'm done. Darian Stewart, a few years of mediocrity, man. You're on thin ice. Brandon Marshall, I love you, man. You're a nice guy, but just the play is not there anymore. And I think I'm done with you too. There's lots of players on this team that come March need to be gone. Some of them have longer contracts. Some of them, like Case Keenum, can just be cut. But some guys have got to fucking go.
That's an inept offense. Rookie out of defense.